What's up, guys? Welcome to First on Film, my first ever film review video on my new channel. Some of you might know me from my other channel, First Letter 2, by where I place a lot of my music, mainly my beats and songs that I produce for different artists. But this channel here I'm going to dedicate to film reviews, television reviews, and maybe some Netflix reviews here and there. So today, what I want to talk to you guys about is a film that I've been waiting for quite some time, and it's the Cloverfield Paradox. Okay, this is the third film within the Cloverfield universe, and we've had the classic, well, I believe it's classic, the original Cloverfield film that came out in 2008, and then we had 10 Cloverfield Lane, which came out in, I believe, 2016, and now we have this, which was just dropped on us in our laps, basically, Super Bowl Sunday night, this past Sunday. And I'm going to talk about this movie, my thoughts, my opinion, how I feel it ties in or relates to the other films within this universe. And I'm going to try to do so by not giving too much of it away, not too much spoilers. But I mean, it's Friday. If you haven't seen this film since Sunday, then just simply click off of this video. So, the Cloverfield Paradox deals with a group of astronauts who are sent to a mission outer space because there is an ongoing energy crisis and the planet can no longer self-sustain. I know I said that wrong, but sue me. We can no longer maintain our energy source, and the Earth's energy is just depleting. So a group of astronauts in the future are sent out into space to test an experimental machine, which is an actual particle collider. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but So on the mission, something goes terribly wrong, and what actually ends up happening is that so much energy being put out from this machine, and the force of it, and them underestimating the capabilities, it actually zaps them into an alternate universe or an alternate dimension, if you want to say that. Okay, so then it becomes a struggle of getting back to Earth, the Earth that they know, as opposed to going to the Earth that they have been kind of like zapped into. And I think this is a very brilliant story and brilliant writing, because we didn't get a lot of answers in the first Cloverfield film in terms of where the creature actually came from. A lot of people have said that 10 Cloverfield Lane just felt like it was just thrown into the universe without any explanation. It wasn't really tied into the first film. But I do like what they've done with the Cloverfield Paradox, because now the questions that I know I've had since the first film, they've actually been answered. So we learn in the Cloverfield Paradox that the particle accelerator, and because it ripped a hole in like the space-time continuum or whatever they called it in the film, it actually collided alternate realities together. So whatever happened in the past that we know of, whatever happened in the present, and whatever may happen in the future, totally been altered. And that's anything from monsters being present, aliens being present, all types of paranormal happenings. So I think it's brilliant writing, because I believe there's a fourth film that's done right now, and I believe the working title for it is Overlord, and that film is going to be set in World War II. And it makes complete sense, because if you watch the Cloverfield Paradox, you're going to understand why the jumps and the different timelines make sense now. A lot of people have said that 10 Cloverfield Lane, they couldn't figure out what space and time it actually took place in, because there was no specific dates being given out. But it makes sense, because in the Cloverfield Paradox, we learn from one character in particular. There's a guy in the film named Mark Stambler, and I believe he might be the brother of John Goodman's character in 10 Cloverfield Lane. And he explains to us, the viewers, that them experimenting with this particle collider is going to wreak havoc and kind of like rip open the fabric of time. which it did. So it kind of explains why you got the monsters that just came out of nowhere in the first Cloverfield film, why the aliens chose to invade Earth in 10 Cloverfield Lane. We get it now. It's because of what happened in this film. And I think that was a brilliant effort on Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, and Bad Robot's, behalf. That was very brilliant because fans have been asking for this for quite some time. And I know a lot of people out here, I've seen review videos and people are still not satisfied. But I mean, hey, it's not the answer that you might have been looking for, but I think for me, it's cleared up a lot of what I wanted to know. Um, the film's visual effects are really good, and one thing that I was worried about, because the film going straight to Netflix as opposed to being a theatrical release, I was kind of skeptical about, the budget might not have been good. The effects may have been lacking something. Maybe this was a reason why they decided to let Netflix pick it up. But I have to say, I was impressed. Visually, the film looks great. It looks really good. Cinematography is well done. Nice shots. Color schemes are very nicely done. Um, the continuity of the storylines, it makes absolute sense for me. I don't want to get too in depth again with this film. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't saw it as of yet. But I like how this film does bridge that gap. Finally, we get an answer as to why Cloverfield happened, why 10 Cloverfield Lane happened. It's all because of this film. Um, my only issue that I have with the film, I don't have any issues in terms of acting. I don't have any issues in terms of the story. I think the story was great. I just feel like for a film that I've been anticipating and other films of, the franchise have been anticipating for so long, they could have given us a film that was longer than just an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, I felt robbed. And at certain points, I felt like the pacing was just a little rushed. You know, I enjoy movies that are good. This is a film that I personally feel is a good film. And when I watch good movies, I want it to, I want to enjoy it. I want to spend enough time watching it and I want to feel satisfied. I wasn't satisfied at the ending of this film, okay? And talking about the ending, um, there's a reveal at the ending, and I don't want to give that away, but I felt a little cheated because okay, we needed to see it, but I felt like it should have been expanded a little bit more than it was. They just kind of I felt like it was thrown in there just to say, "Oh, wait a minute, yeah, this is a Cloverfield film. Let's give you this." But other than that, I liked it. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the Cloverfield Paradox maybe an 8.5. And again, the only takeaway is just the pacing and the overall actual length of the film. I just felt like it could have been at least 2 hours. They could have given us 2 hours worth of story, because I enjoyed it so much. And I'm just excited to see what they're gonna do with this fourth film. I don't believe it's gonna go with the title Overlord. I just believe that's the working title, as was God Particle for this film. Um, and they have a way of tying Cloverfield into the title, so I'm gonna guess it's a World War II film set on the eve of D-Day. So I'm guess it's gonna be called something like Operation Cloverfield or something like that. But who knows? But I'm really interested in seeing, because of the events that played out in the Cloverfield Paradox and everything that they've done and what went wrong in this film, why the past, the present, and the future are so altered now. You have these beasts, you have all these strange occurrences now. I want to see what's actually going to happen, with a Cloverfield film being set in World War II. I think this is going to be very interesting, and I think it's genius writing, because if you keep up with the ARG behind this film as well, you know that the company that's loosely to blame for all of these occurrences, Tagruato. No, I'm not saying that right. Tagruato or something like that. I think that sounds a little bit better. Sorry, but they were actually founded, I believe, in 1944 or 1945, where this film is going to be taking place. So this is going to be interesting. It might serve as an origin story with a little twist of why strange occurrences are happening because of the situation that occurred in the Cloverfield Paradox. Makes complete sense to me. So yeah, this is my video. I might put up another video maybe later or not with some spoilers, but I don't really want to do that. Don't want to get too in depth with spoiling the film for anyone who hasn't saw it. I think it's better left to you guys, to develop your own opinion, your own feelings about the film. I just have to say, I think that it was a great movie. I just wish that it could have been longer, and I can't wait to see what they do for the next one. So, if you have any comments, please leave them below. If you want to, open up a discussion about this film, feel free to do so. Like, subscribe, that always helps. And until then, I guess this is it. Thanks for watching.